Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back for our Week 4 predictions of the NFL 2021 season. Before we get into it, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you enjoy these videos.
Also, make sure to go follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We have all different posts, polls, and everything like that. Let's get into it. All right, first we have the Cincinnati Bengals facing off against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I have the Cincinnati Bengals winning this game. I don't think the Jags have quite found their rhythm yet, and I think Cincinnati is just getting the ball rolling with Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, all those people contributing to the wins. So that's why I have Cincinnati winning this one.
Yeah, Jacksonville has looked better last week. I also have the Bengals winning. I think they're just a more consistently good team. I'll say that. They look consistently
definitely
good. They just beat the Steelers. The Jags came close to beating the Cardinals, but again, they're just not very consistent. I'll admit they did put on a better showing last week, but I just can't take them to win so this far in the season because they just have not looked good up to this point.
Another thing is Joe Mixon's finally getting the ball rolling after his career went absolutely nowhere up until this point, and I don't think the Jags front seven's going to be able to handle him as well.
No, without doubt, yeah. And then they also just lost C.J. Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
They got Dan Arnold.
They got Dan Arnold.
They got Dan Arnold. They lost C.J. Henderson. So I think that's just going to help Joe Burrow just pick apart that defense. And I think the Bengals are definitely coming away with the win.
Next up, we have the Indianapolis Colts versus the Miami Dolphins, and I have the Colts winning this game. The two things that plague this team are turnovers and the inability to score off of turnovers, and I think these are two things that they're going to clean up during their week of practice. Miami's continuously look shaky. They were oddly competitive against the Raiders, but how would I put it? They weren't necessarily good.
They didn't look good. Yeah, I also have the Colts winning this game. I think the Colts have been putting up good games against good teams. They've just barely lost, I think, so far up to this point in the season, whereas the Dolphins have looked really inconsistent. Their win against the Patriots, they looked kind of it was a sign for sure for the rest of their season, and I think the Colts are going to take this one. I think Miami still needs to figure some stuff out before they are contenders this year.
One thing I will say about Jacoby Brissett, though, is he did run the offense better than Tua,
Jacoby Brissett's the guy.
He's the guy. He's the guy. The fact that they opened up that offense definitely made him look better in the second half, but it's not enough for them to keep up with the Colts front seven.
Next up, we have the Washington football team versus the Atlanta Falcons, and I have the football team winning this game. They've looked really good. They're coming off a blowout against the Bills, even though they did manage to come back. And the Falcons just have not looked very good this year. Their offense looks just not as explosive as it was. And the football team, on the other hand, has looked great. They're still in their playoff form from last year. So I think the football team is definitely taking this one.
I also have the football team winning this game. I don't think their 2-1 record or their 1-2 record does them justice to compare to like how good they actually are. Those two games that they lost were pretty close, except for the Bills game, which the Bills are just.
Well, they almost came back. They put up a good fight. Taylor Heineke has really showed that he could start. He is a solid starter in the NFL. You got guys like Terry McLaurin. I don't know if Curtis Samuel's back yet, but they've been performing pretty well without him. So if he comes back, that's just only going to boost their team, and I think they're only going to get better. I think that's my prediction for this season.
They also have Antonio Gibson, who's shown that he has a big play potential, after that 75-yard play. So he's definitely coming into his own. I think that's only going to help them out as the season progresses.
And with the Falcons, it's just like I just can't really find anything that they got going for them right now. As of late, their defense doesn't look very good. Their offense isn't very explosive. I think they're going to finish with a pretty terrible record this year. Next up, we have the Houston Texans versus the Buffalo Bills. I have the Bills taking this one. Don't get me wrong. The Texans have been pretty frisky up to this point. They've been doing a lot better than I would have ever predicted them to do, to be completely honest. Without Deshaun Watson, they're still managing to be competitive, but the Bills are just a way better team. They're finally getting the ball rolling. Josh Allen's looking like he did last year. So I think this game, the Bills might keep it competitive. The Texans might keep it competitive because that's what they've been doing. But I don't think the Bills are losing this one.
I also have the Bills winning this game. I think, the ability to pick apart the Washington football team's defense is just just showing that Josh Allen's getting back to MVP form. If you were to ask me what the score would be before last week's games, I would have said it probably would have been a lot closer. But after that Washington performance, they're definitely still a top tier offense, and I think that's going to carry them through this week.
Next up, we have the Chicago Bears versus the Detroit Lions. Now, if you were to ask me at the beginning of the season who I had winning this game, I would have definitely said the Chicago Bears. But the Lions are looking good, and the Bears averaged 1.1 yards per play last week. Matt Nagy needs to be fired, and I think as long as he's the head coach, I don't think the Bears are going to be winning many games. That defense still looks pretty good. I'm not going to lie. They still look pretty good, but God, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm taking the Lions. It's not even a zany pick in my mind. This is just legitimately who I think is going to win this game. Matt Nagy came out saying that he might even start Nick Foles, so that really shows you the state of the Bears as it stands. So I'm taking the Lions on this one.
I also have the Lions winning this game, and I think the Bears have the same problem as the Dolphins, where it's an elite defense, but the offense just can't seem to stay on the field for that long. And
they netted one passing yard. The one passing yard the whole game. They allowed it's 9 sacks.
I think the thing's that's gonna bury you guys in the end is just Jared Goff putting up 350 and 4 touchdowns.
My worst nightmares coming true. Next up, we have the Carolina Panthers versus the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I think this is going to be a close one. The Panthers are currently 3-0, and they're looking really solid out there. Sam Darnold is really showing that he is a good QB if he doesn't have Adam Gase as his head coach. But I have the Cowboys winning this game. I think they've been looking pretty solid out there. That offense looks amazing. You have Dak, who's still healthy, and you have Zeke, who let me down in fantasy. But you got Tony Pollard.
He's the guy.
Who gives a shit about Zeke? Then you have all those weapons. So I think I have the Cowboys winning this game.
Yeah, I also have the Cowboys winning this game. I just don't think besides the game against the Saints, where the Panthers blew them out, I don't think they've really had to sweat as much against their opponents. I think the Cowboys, they've played formidable foes, as I'll call them. But he's kept it. They've been in the game every single game that they've played in, and that offense is just too explosive.
Next up, we have the Cleveland Browns versus the Minnesota Vikings. Now, I think this is going to be a really close game. I think the Vikings are finally looking like they were projected to look like at the beginning of the season. Then you got the Browns, who have been falling short, not going to lie. Their offense was struggling against Chicago's defense, but their defense are fucking gods out there.
No, they're superior beings.
Yeah, they're just gods amongst men. But I have the Vikings winning this game. I think the Vikings are going to keep the ball rolling. I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns win. It's going to be a very close game, but I see the Vikings taking this one.
I have the Browns winning this game. I think it's going to be a real make or break for their season. The Vikings look great, and I think this is a really 50-50 ball game, but it's more about the Browns. Can they compete with these teams that are looking really good? And I think that Baker Mayfield's going to continue his charge. I think he's going to put up some pretty good numbers against I'd say a pretty solid defense.
Yeah, the Vikings defense has definitely turned around. They managed to put a halt to MVP Russ early on in the season.
Yeah, he only lasted 3 games this year.
Every year, MVP Russ just ends sooner and sooner. Now we have the New York Giants versus the New Orleans Saints. I have the Saints winning this game. The Saints, although they haven't looked consistent out there, they've been a good team. The Giants have not. Daniel Jones has been performing way better than he did last year, but I just don't see them pulling this win out against the Saints. I think Jameis Winston's going to have a big game. I think Alvin Kamara is going to have a big game. I know the Giants' defense is really good, but I just don't see them pulling this one out.
I also have the Saints winning this game. I think Jameis Winston's going to have an absolute field day against that defense. I think the Giants have been one of the more disappointing teams so far in the season.
Without a doubt, yeah.
Especially since they were in that rebuild phase and everyone was hyping them up.
Yeah.
But like you said, the Saints are been really inconsistent, but I still think that they pull out the win and by putting up huge numbers this week.
Now we got the Tennessee Titans versus the New York Jets. I have the Titans winning this game. They look like a way better team. The Jets have been shut out in back-to-back weeks. Zach Wilson definitely needs some time to develop. I'm not willing to give up on him yet just because he's a rookie quarterback and can't expect them to play their best, but I think he definitely is going to need time to develop. That team, though, is just not very good right now. I still have faith. I don't think it's that they're going to continue to be bad, but it's Robert Saleh's first year. It's Zach Wilson's rookie year. They definitely have some key pieces, but there's no way they're going to be able to compete with the Titans. I do know, saying this, there's probably a chance that they do win, and I'm just caught on camera saying that they have no chance, but that does not matter. I'm sticking with the Tennessee Titans.
I also have the Titans winning this game. Like he said, the Jets just aren't there yet. Zach Wilson does not look like the Zach Wilson we saw in the preseason, and I don't blame him, especially when that offensive line is just abysmal. You don't have much time in the pocket. You're not going to really make plays. When he scrambles outside the pocket, it's almost worse somehow. But I don't know. I just think that they have no match for Tennessee.
Next up, we have the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I have the Chiefs winning this game, although I would love to see them lose 3 games in a row because I just can't stand the Chiefs hype. I'm sick and tired of hearing how Patrick Mahomes is football Jesus. And that everything he does is amazing. I would love for the Eagles to win this game. If I'm wrong in this prediction, I will be so happy. I love what the Eagles have been doing this year. They've been looking pretty good, pretty solid out there. But I just think the Chiefs are going to win. That's the analytical part of me, the logical side. Every other part of me is saying, please, 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 Chiefs lose.
I also have the Chiefs winning this game. I mean, pretty much everything that Carson said. I'm fly Eagles fly at heart. I'm supporting you.
I'm gonna be wearing green.
I'm gonna be wearing green, baby. Jalen Hurts for life. Next up, we have the game of the week, in my opinion, the Arizona Cardinals versus the LA Rams, and this one's tough. I really don't. Off the top of my head, I think I'm gonna go Rams this game. I think Matt Stafford's looking like an absolute MVP. Putting up those nums against the Tampa Bay Bucks, which I think will be the NFC Championship game when it's all said and done. But yeah, I think the Cardinals are the younger team. I think the Rams definitely have that experience going into the game. You know, playing at high stakes games. You know, C.J. Henderson, or was it C.J. Henderson? No. Who's the running back? Darrell Henderson looks pretty solid out there. I think it's gonna be tough against that line. But as long as Cooper Kupp just stays balling, I think they're gonna win this game.
I too have the Rams. The Rams, ever since getting Matt Stafford, have looked pretty much unstoppable out there. Colts came close, but other than that, they've looked like they might go undefeated this season. I wouldn't be surprised if they went undefeated this season, although they have probably the hardest division to compete in. The Rams just beat the Super Bowl champions, and the Cardinals almost lost to the Jags. So if that tells you anything, that maybe the Cardinals are going to be a little bit inconsistent going forward. But if they don't manage to bring their best game this week, I think the Rams are definitely taking this one. Next up, we have another NFC West matchup. We have the Seattle Seahawks versus the San Francisco 49ers. I have the Seahawks winning this one. The 49ers, they've been winning games, but they're always close. They're always too close, in my opinion. I just can't trust them to win. The Seattle Seahawks have actually lost games. The 49ers also lost a game, but I just think the Seattle Seahawks have looked like a better team so far. And the 49ers are shaky. I'm willing to say that. They're shaky this year. So I'm definitely taking the Seahawks to win this.
Yeah, the 49ers are a real shaky team, like you said, but I'm taking the 49ers. I think MVP Russ stops at week 3. I think MVP Jimmy G.
It's his time to shine. Enjoy the bench tray. Now we got the Baltimore Ravens versus the Denver Broncos, and I got the Ravens taking this one. A part of me wanted to choose the Broncos because I think they've been looking good, although they've been playing bad teams. I think it's not like they've been struggling against them. So, I wouldn't be surprised if the Broncos win this, but I think the Ravens are just a better team in general. I think they're more established. They just beat the Chiefs. They almost lost to the 49ers, but Justin Tucker's just that dude. Did I say the 49ers? They almost lost to the Lions. That's right.
Yeah, the Lions.
Yeah, the Lions. But Justin Tucker's just that guy, nailing 60-yard field goals.
Absolutely lethal.
Yeah, he's lethal out there. He's definitely the GOAT when it comes to kickers, and I think he will. I think he's going to win them this game. How about that? How's that for a hot take that they're gonna win from a field goal?
I also have the Ravens winning this game. They've played every game pretty close. The one game against the Raiders, which was a really fun game to watch, and then also that game against the Lions, which is a little bit shaky.
I will say the Ravens have probably been the most entertaining team to watch this year.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You got the Raiders game, which was electric. You got the Chiefs game. electric, and then you got a 66-yard field goal game winner,
Oh yeah,
which is just so electric.
yeah. But the Broncos, they've only faced bad teams in my opinion, and that's the reason that they stand at 3-0. I do think that they're a pretty solid team. I just think they haven't really faced real competition yet. They've kind of just been breezing their way through.
I think this is definitely the first test for the Broncos to establish whether or not they're for real or not.
Definitely.
Next up, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Green Bay Packers. Now, I have the Packers winning this one. They had the roughest start, I think. You know, they just looked so bad week 1, but since then they've stepped it up and they've been looking better. They've actually only gotten better. So I have them beating the Steelers, who just lost to the Bengals. Sorry. They just lost to the Bengals, and I just think the Packers are a better team right now, and I think they're going to come away with the win.
I think you could definitely – I also have the Packers winning this game, but you could definitely see when Aaron Rodgers wants to win. Because that first week, he was obviously out of it. Last week came back, and then like this last week – he was like, I want to go win this game. Yeah, so he turned it on. He was like, I'm going to go win this game right now.
You know what would be pretty wild? Back-to-back MVPs. I think it's I think it's time for that.
But yeah, definitely. I think the Packers win this game.
Next up, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New England Patriots. You got Tom Brady returning back to the Patriots. I think he's going to return back and womp on them. I think the Bucs are coming in angry. They just lost the Rams. They lost their chance at an undefeated season. And I don't think the Patriots are ready for Tom Brady's wrath. I think sleepy Mac Jones better not get any sleep that night so he can harness that sleepiness if they want to stand a chance. But no, they don't have a chance. I'm giving this to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Again, I realize saying this, there's a chance the Patriots might win, and this might just be used against me.
I also have the Bucs winning this game. I think Tom Brady walks on the field, looks Mac Jones dead in the eye, and said, "This is my city.
This is my city." Grabs him by the neck.
Yeah,
this is my city.
Go back to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Tom Brady comes out and immediately sits on the bench and just.
Yeah, no. Have you seen that thing after the loss? Yeah. But yeah, dude, I think it's either gonna be a blowout or a really close game, but it's gonna be either or.
I don't think there's. You know what? I think as much as this has been hyped up, I don't think there's any bad blood between Belichick and Brady. I've heard they actually have a pretty nice relationship since he left. But I think they're both very competitive dudes who are going to want to win this game. But I just think the Bucs are a way better team. Next up, we have the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Los Angeles Chargers, the primetime Monday night game. This one I'm back and forth on because the Raiders are undefeated right now, but the Chargers have looked better. But somehow the Raiders have been pulling out wins. So I kind of want to go to the Raiders, but I'm going to go with the Chargers. I think Justin Herbert's just that dude. I think I don't think the Raiders are ready for it. I don't think their defense is ready for Justin Herbert to come out there and light it up. I think the Chargers defense is really hitting their stride. They turned the ball over 3 times against the Chiefs in a row, right? Or no?
Yeah, no, 3 back-to-back drives.
Yeah, 3 back-to-back drives, just turning the ball over. I think the Raiders are going to get their first loss this week.
I agree with you. I have the Chargers winning this game, but for the reason that the Vegas Raiders let the Dolphins almost win the game. How do you let a team like that almost walk all over you, dude? But yeah, Justin Herbert's that guy, like he said, and that offense is just on a different level, especially beating the Chiefs defense, just marching down the field to win the game. So yeah, I have the Chargers winning this game.
Well, that's our Week 4 predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed them. Let us know down in the comments below. Who do you have winning? We'll see you in Week 5. Hopefully, we don't look like a bunch of big fucking idiots. Big fucking idiots up here predicting these little games.
Don't look like Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah. Little dumb boy. Little dumb boy Ryan Tannehill. We'll see you next week.